Efendim merhabalar. Sizi seri bir girişimciyle tanıştırmak istiyorum. Danny Arazi. Bundan sonraki konuşmamız İngilizce devam edecek ama ben sizlerin bizi çok rahatlıkla takip edebileceğinizi düşünüyorum. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you.
You are a serial entrepreneur. I will ask you what that means, but then let me just introduce you. You are the president of the Keiretsu Forum, which is an entrepreneur and investment platform in Israel.
Angel group
of
business people who are committed to investment in technology and real estate.
Yeah. That is the full concentration in Israel, or is it the same all around the world, technology and real estate?
It's the same all over the world, but I think we have certain areas that we are more specialized. And for real estate, for example, we invest not in Israel, we invest abroad.
Okay. That's because the land is scarce.
No, because we
too expensive.
No, the opportunities.
Okay, the opportunities
somewhere else.
Okay, then, what is a serial entrepreneur? Who is a serial entrepreneur? Can you? You invest all the time. Is that what I should? Or you?
Maybe to answer it, I should tell you, I was an executive for almost 18 years, starting one company, then another company, all which were in technology. This is the second phase of my life.
Okay.
And when my last company was acquired by an American company named Broadcom, I was then living in the Bay Area, in the Silicon Valley. I decided it's a high time for me not to be anymore an active executive, but to be more like a private business angel. Meaning that I felt that I can contribute to small startup companies with my experience, with my networking, with my management background to trigger young entrepreneur to do it better.
Okay, can I ask you something about the shift from the corporate world itself? Were you fed up with the corporate world and you wanted to go into the ocean of the entrepreneurs?
It's more complex because in my previous life I was a film producer.
Yes, I was going to come to that.
And I did for 18 years mostly documentaries locally and internationally. And
okay.
We were very successful. We were the #1 company in Israel. And everybody thought, well, you are so successful, you're doing so well. And one day I told everybody, I quit. And I got the bug of technology and I felt I had enough. And it's high time.
What kind of a bug is that? I mean, when does it come? And to quit something is so special.
I cannot explain, but I felt that I did enough, and I was waking up in the morning doing more of the same. And I decided it's high time to do something new. And this was very, very early days of technology in Israel. I thought, maybe let's try, what can I lose? And I started a startup company, which combined, by the way, my previous experience in films. It was a multimedia company, and I was very pleased. So I did a shift, and completely different world, because suddenly you are surrounded with very stiff engineers. In film business, you don't see engineers. And everything has to be well planned in advance, and it fits me.
Okay.
And so I did one company, was a startup, then another company. I did very well, and I was fortunate to join with 2 partners and to start a small company to do telecommunication modems very early on. And this company, Orchid, in 3 years became public in the United States. We went to NASDAQ.
Very successful.
And with a valuation that went up like this, at the peak we were, the company was $1.4 billion company. But then the problem started because because we have triggered the appetite of the big ones.
Okay.
So a company like Alcatel didn't like the idea that small startup company from Israel is taking all their business.
Competition.
Yeah. So there was a fight and they won.
Okay, well, that does not stop you, I think. No, never, right?
No, because then I started another company.
How many companies have you started so far? Can you, I'm sure you have
four or five companies. Some which was a big success, one which were less of a big success. But you accumulate from one experience to the other, or you take a lot of experience from one company to the other, sometimes dealing completely different subject matter, but still as an entrepreneur, you know how to manage people,
yes.
You know how to identify where a market is, and sometimes you know where to run away.
Well, while reading your biography, I had a question in my mind to ask you, which one is appropriate, to call you an entrepreneur or an investor? Which part of you is...
definitely entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Even now, as an investor, our idea is that we invest as smart money. In other words, I wouldn't invest only in companies that I can contribute something to their success. And sometimes I have better ability to contribute, like contacts, like customers, like finding the best way for the company to establish its marketing strategy, or sometimes just basic management issues, how to manage people, how to encourage brilliant people, how to promote and keep the brilliant people in the company, trigger them with challenges and with the stock options.
So if I may go back to my first question and reshape that, I asked you what makes you a serial entrepreneur, and if I add to that serial investor, I picked up a couple of words that you have been telling me about. It's not getting bored, but it's adventure, I think, in your blood.
Yeah.
And it's the achievement, leadership.
Yeah.
What else?
To wake up in the morning and to feel that you are having something exciting.
Exciting.
Not to do repetitive work. So new company, new
you look
challenges.
For new things.
Right, new challenges, new risks, how to manage risks, how to help people to, for example, I'm involved with a company, and after half a year we feel that all what we thought that will be the right way to go is wrong. So to do the shift, and there is a tendency among young entrepreneurs sometimes to believe that whatever they thought happened. And as an old entrepreneur,
experienced, let's say,
experienced entrepreneur, how to help the guy realize that maybe it's time to do the shift.
Yes.
And sometimes, a visitor for a moment see every fault better than somebody who lives in.
That's right, you get blind. But I think I was missing one word. It's future. The future. Are you a futurist? I'm sure you are, because you see something for the future. Otherwise, why would you invest
I appreciate very much that you brought it up, because if there was one word that will combine all what I did so far, it's future, seeing the future. For example, when we formed Orchid and we went to the development of broadband modems, internet didn't exist, or it was the very early days of internet.
How did you think about it? I mean, do you read a lot? Do you talk a lot? Do you travel a lot? What is it?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, and it's my character. I remember I was in a conference in Paris many, many years ago, and I did a presentation on broadband DSL. This was early on. And I said the day will come that in our house you'll have faceplate of AC, of electricity, of telephone that we have, and data. Everybody looked at me as if, what are you talking about? They didn't think that data will become a utility in the house.
That's right.
And so looking at
difficult to imagine.
Right, to see the future. And it was also true on the next company that we thought that there is a very big risk in the world to do with how to keep the data that we possess. So we started a company, Siliquent, that enabled vast quantity of data communication for storage. The day we started the company we are now at the end of September. It's September 2001.
Okay.
You remember what happened then? September 11?
Oh, yes.
This was the time, the perfect timing to start a storage company, because everybody was thinking, wow, we had this disaster. We have to make sure that we have...
So momentum is another thing, I think. Foreseeing and momentum.
Yeah. So this is what now, being a semi-active or not full-time involved with the startup companies that we invest in, we try to help the founders to look for what is the next thing, not to do the solution for the today problem, but tomorrow's problem. Right.
So what do you look at for when you invest or when you think that a company is attractive? For the, I'm sure you look at the people, and what 3 criteria you look for in the management or in the founder?
The banal answer is people, people, people.
Okay. Yes, if we go further. Well, because that's the most difficult answer and most difficult part.
But it really
does say a lot of things, but doesn't say much.
Sometimes entrepreneurs, when they present their idea, their business plan, they talk about technology, they talk about the market. When I listen, I don't listen about the market, about the technology, but about the guy. Okay. Will he be able to deliver to the market that he's talking himself?
Do you see that when you see a person?
This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Will he have the stubbornness? Will he be able to face crisis? And where everybody tells him, we don't need your product because it's too early, too expensive, we don't need it. And he will push and push and push and make it.
Okay.
This is what you need. You need people which see a door, see a window, the door is closed, you go through the window. Otherwise, you don't make it.
Otherwise, you don't make it. Okay, my last question, perhaps. I mean, there are so many questions I want to ask, but time is limited. So let me just choose one of the things that could be critical. Do you have a dream? Or is there anything that you think you could have done or invest or innovate, but you didn't have either time or time was not ripe for that?
It may sound very unhumble, but I think I achieved most of my dreams. And my current dream is my hobby.
Which is?
I'm a pilot. I fly gliders, and I travel all around the world and fly with my gliders.
You're kidding.
Over the Alps, over the Sierra Mountains in the United States, or in New Zealand, in the South Island. And this is how to meet your dreams.
Well, I have nothing to say to that. This is. It's adventure. It combines many things, perhaps, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So
my wife said, "It's right for you." Okay.
Well, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure talking to you. Last thing. What do you? You're going to be meeting with the Turkish entrepreneurs.
Right.
What will you tell them?
many people ask me about how come Israel became the startup nation.
Yes.
And this is the main theme of my presentation. How did it happen that Israel, such a small country with no natural resources, under war all the time, suddenly made it such a big way in the technology, in the business world, and I'm part of it. And many people are curious, and I'm going to show them.
What's the answer?
The answer is complicated, but it has to do with we are a country of immigrants who coming from many different cultures, and each one brought his own culture and a mixing point. By the way, it's very much like Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, you have many Indians, you have Chinese, you have Jewish people, you have Israelis, you have from all over the world, and the meeting point actually creates something. Also, the Israeli guys, in particular the young ones, are not looking for stability. They are prepared to take risks. They are prepared to leave their job and to start a new company, not thinking about how they will pay for the bread and butter for the family, but they manage. And last is the ability to identify opportunities and go there.
Okay, well, that's the full story, I think.
In three
yes.
words.
Well, thank you. Thank you once again for coming, and I enjoyed your company, and the answers were great. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Çok teşekkürler. Bence büyük dersler vardı. Türk girişimcileri için alınabilecek bir başka programda tekrar görüşmek üzere.